Thanks, Kerry. Kia ora koutou. Great to be here today, and I'm excited to welcome you all to the Wonder Project and tell you a little bit about what we're doing. Now, some of you may be a little bit familiar with the Wonder Project, some not so much, so I'll just start as if you know nothing, which is probably a good way to go. So the Wonder Project is all about engaging young kids in areas of STEM. Science, technology, engineering, and maths, which I'm sure you all know, understand that acronym. We've been around as the Wonder Project for about 4 years, and in that time, we've seen about 60,000 young kids absolutely have a ball with the Rocket Challenge particularly. So what I'm going to do is talk you through our program, what we're actually our drivers, and this is indeed our main driver here. New Zealand needs more STEM professionals. We're very, very short of engineers, scientists, technologists in New Zealand, especially at level 7 and above. I mean, right across the whole spectrum, there's a serious shortage. It's international as well, but particularly in New Zealand. We're also looking to meet the skill shortages in New Zealand, but we want more diversity. The Wonder Project is really keen to up our game as far as more women in STEM. Currently, our programs are going about 47% girls uptake. We want to raise that to 50. We have around, what is our latest? I think we're aiming for 10%, I think we're working on 10% Māori at the moment. We want to lift that to 25% and up to 10% Pacifica. So the engagement of diverse cultures is so important in this area, and it's something that we are totally passionate about. Now, the Wonder Project sits within Engineering New Zealand. That's where we're housed. We're actually funded by Callaghan Innovation. So we've got a wonderful network of amazing industry behind us, which is incredible. Our programs are quite unique because they're supported by industry professionals. So we run our programs through schools, through teachers like yourselves, but supported by industry professionals. And that's where the magic lies. We have found that getting role models in front of kids is the most powerful way to actually influence them and inspire them into STEM careers. My personal background is as a career consultant. I've worked government, in education and corporate environments, and one of the most powerful tools I've ever seen working with young people is role modeling. So I'm very, very passionate about it. And that's why our program really works. So what I want to talk to you about today is particularly our Rocket Challenge. The Rocket Challenge is it's our flagship program. It's what we're focusing on until mid-2023. So it's basically the program I want to talk you through at the moment. So the Rocket Challenge is a 6-module program that is run in the class, led by the teacher with the support of an ambassador. So the program is targeted at level 3 of the curriculum. So this is around about year level 5 and 6. Although in saying that, we do have lots of year 7 and 8 kids doing the program, and even in some schools, year 9 students take it. It depends on the level of the students. So we've found that during COVID, with a lot of the the sort of absences and the situation, some kids have fallen a bit behind. So the program is actually stretching over a wider arena. And it also, like, if the kids are learning, there's always extension to be done as well. So even though we say year 5 and 6, level 3, that can, it's got quite a big sort of area, a reach behind it. So with the Rocket Challenge, we have well, 60,000 students in the last 4 years. That's pretty amazing. The really cool thing, the exciting thing at the moment is there's such high demand for it that we're actually offering it in Term 1 2023 and Term 2. So indeed, we are beginning to take registrations now for Term 1. Now, the Rocket Challenge, I'm going to show you a couple of videos in a moment. As I said, there are 6 modules in it. We have an online learning hub, which the teachers work through. The students have their own online learning hub as well. So everything is done for the teachers. It's curriculum connected, and the lessons are all basically done for you. In saying that, you can also extend as you need, or just kind of make it work for your own particular class. But we found that if you run through the modules, we suggest to teachers that they have the Learning Hub open on a laptop, and that's projected onto a screen in the front of the class, and then you just can work through it systematically. This takes a lot of stress off for teachers. Often teachers, especially at primary, are a little bit unconfident about science concepts, and the 3 key things that kids are going to learn are Newton's laws during this program and how they are related to rockets actually launching. So there's just incredible support for this program. It also, the online situation comes with a really amazing set of teacher notes that is basically an encyclopedia that you can dig deeper into for little concepts that you're not confident about. So this is something we found to be really, really important. Part of the drive of the Wonder Project is to build teacher confidence. As well as inspiring kids and getting them to look at STEM careers, we want to really help the teachers and make them feel better about teaching science. So what do we have? Yes, we're Term 1 and Term 2 next year, and targeting level 3 of the curriculum. So what I'm going to do is show you a couple of groovy little videos here. This one gives you a bit of excitement. So you've got to admit there's nothing more happy than kids launching rockets. It's such a treat, this role that we have, because we get to go into schools and see the launches, and it's just fantastic. And kids do scream every single time the rocket goes up. And there's many rocket launches over the program, and it's really, really exciting. We did a lot of research before we put the Rocket Challenge together, and really looked at what affects kids, and it's hands-on activity, a long-term sustained engagement in a program that really, really connects the kids and gets them drawn in, connected and excited. And if they're having fun as well, the learning tends to stick. So it's these elements that we love about our program, and it's what the teachers love as well. Now, I'm going to show you the winning video. What we do is, after the program has been completed, it's not compulsory, but a lot of teachers will enter our video competition, and kids put together an example of their learning. So I'll just run you through this because it gives you a good overall idea of what happens. These were year 5 and 6 kids, so they are wee ones. Just pop it on there.
School in sunny Tauranga. We have been involved in the rocket project. Here is a video of our journey. We learned about the design process that engineers and people who use STEM for jobs every day. First, we wondered how rockets fly. After some research, we decided that our rockets needed a nose cone and fins to make it fly. We got designing and creative fantastic rockets. We worked together to cut sellotape and paint. Yep. My challenge was to make a template so my fins were the same size.
My challenge was trying to stick the fins onto my bottle.
We problem solved and used duct tape.
My challenge was to get my team working and agreeing on our designs.
And then there was this guy called Newton. He taught us heaps of science stuff.
Like the 3 laws of motion.
Then we had fun. We tested our rockets with different amounts of water. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
We agree that 350 mils was the best, but our rockets still didn't fly very well. I wonder what I need to do to make it fly better.
After watching what kids did last year, we realized that we didn't have enough weight in the top of our rocket. So we added 100 grams of sand to the nose cone.
Success!
We did a PMI about the rocket project. Here are some of our thoughts.
The videos we watched to solve our problems were interesting. They helped us decide to add weight.
I enjoyed glassing off the rockets.
I liked putting sand in because we kept having to measure it again and again.
I like that we fix problems with our rockets ourselves, like the fins.
When we put the sand in, they went so much higher. That was interesting.
We learnt so much about science, technology, engineering and maths. Plus it was so much fun.
We loved our learning, we loved flying our rockets.
So, got to say, that's super cute, isn't it? But you can see the learning that the kids are getting in this. I mean, they're problem solving, they're working things out, they're being little engineers, really. And as we know, engineering means problem solving. So that's what these kids are doing. And the learning of the Newton's laws is just great. And they pull it all together, and it's all marvellously exciting. So that's the rocket challenge that we are going to be running term 1 and 2 next year. Alongside that, we do have a STEM career offering that we'll be working with as well. This is at the moment looking like we've got a resource bank that is being developed at the moment. We're going to have about 10 amazing videos of STEM professionals in their workplace, called under kind of, it's going to be called, I think, or it may not be called a day in the life of, but it's that sort of idea where kids will be able to just tune in, teachers, career advisors, everyone, parents, and get a look at different diverse STEM careers that are really exciting. We've got DJ developers, we've got people from Fonterra with food, engineers, all sorts of people, scientists. So that's going to be a wonderful resource that teachers will have access to. Careers is also really important for parents. So having online exposure that parents can have a look at to different careers is really, really good, especially to support their kids in their career decision making. We also have got pathway information. We've got a wonderful engineering handbook available free online at the moment, and we're currently developing a technology one as well as a science one, and these will pathways into various different careers using these subjects. So that's really exciting stuff that's available for everybody. But as I said, our focus at the moment is really going to be these rocket challenges. This is an example of some of the impact that our programs have had. And as we know, to get to sort of as evidence of is a program working or not, to measure the impact is absolutely of huge value. And we surveyed the students and the teachers before they do our challenges. And from those results, we really can see the shift in learning and understanding. So we get a really good measure of how these programs are working. I won't read through each of these, but you get the general idea that the impact of the programs is really quite profound. I actually remember one ambassador who did the Rocket Challenge in the South Island, and he came back and said, you know, like when he started, one of the kids in the class had said they wanted to be an engineer, and by the time he'd finished the Rocket Challenge, a dozen kids said, wow, I want to be an engineer. So it's that sort of anecdotal feedback we get constantly, and really the magic as well as the fun program is actually that connection with an industry professional. So those relationships, that learning, and it's just an exposure to something different. What I've always found is that kids, especially at this young age, only really know what their parents do as a job, and they don't really ask questions of other people, or what do you do for a living? Those questions don't really happen. So unless somebody's parent is a STEM professional, a lot of kids just don't get that experience at all. So to have a STEM professional in the classroom talking about their job, because in the first session with the students and the teacher, the ambassador will talk about their career. And this is when they can sort of say, hey, I love my job because this is what I get to do. I build bridges, or I build rockets, or I design computer software and make DJ equipment, and or, you know, develop new food, or whatever it is they're doing. And it's really, really exciting for those kids, and the kids can see themselves in that person quite often. We often get ambassadors going back to their old school as well, which is also a very powerful connection, because that they can say, I was you once. So there's that wonderful connection again. So moving on, again, I won't read through each of these either, because you can all read, but just feedback. Everyone who does the program gets something out of it. Students love it. They get their eyes opened to new understandings. They learn about science. They learn about different career opportunities. Because our ambassadors don't have to be like rocket scientists or engineers to be a STEM professional in the classroom. We get all sorts of people who have a STEM career, so it's not just engineering. The teachers love it. Teachers often do it year after year and become more and more confident in running the program themselves. And ultimately, they can do it without an ambassador. And we do have online videos of ambassadors for teachers who don't actually get paired with an ambassador. So, benefit for schools? Well, I think I just spoke a little bit about that. It's a fun and engaging way to teach. The program is done for you. It's curriculum related, so if you, it's easy to take to the principal and say, yep, this ticks these boxes. That's free. As I said earlier, we're funded by Callaghan Innovation, so the kits and the resources are all free. Industry donates the time of the ambassadors, which is just fantastic. So there's a huge industry input into the program as well. Confidence in STEM subject is increased hugely. You've got support from our amazing schools team on the Wonder Project. If there's any problems or issues around anything, there's 3 of us who are on the team that work with ambassadors and teachers to jump in and help out. So and wherever possible, we do match teachers with an ambassador. It's not always possible. We have had schools in very remote parts of New Zealand. Sometimes we've managed to find an ambassador in the area, or we can get an ambassador who's in a main centre that will have a like a Teams or Zoom connection with this, or Skype connection with the school, which is great. But we even got a class on Stewart Island and found an ambassador out there, someone who was doing ocean science or something on Stewart Island, and could work with the local school, which was fantastic. So there we are. So who are our ambassadors, you may be wondering? So generally, they are STEM professionals who hold a level 6 or above qualification. This is not always, it's not always a level 6. Sometimes it might be a level 5 certificate that they're pathwaying their way through, and they happen to be, you know, like a STEM professional working near a school and have that passion and desire to, you know, to give back to the community. A lot of our ambassadors we call 360s because they have been inspired by a role model as a young person, and now they're giving back and they just want to do the same thing and share that opportunity. So to be an ambassador, though, you do need to be a working STEM professional and really happy to sort of share your story, relate well to young people. You have to be prepared to have a police check to make sure you're tickety-boo to go into a class, and supported by your industry to go into a school, because it's always during school hours. So that covers off our ambassadors and who they are. And if you want to sign on, which you all will be wanting to do now, just jump onto our website, wonderproject.nz, and you will be able to sign on and register. If the programs aren't open at any point, you'll still be in the system and will get emailed as soon as the programs open up. So I hope that has given you a nice overview of the Wonder Project and our fabulous Rocket Challenge. And if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them. So, Kerry, do you have a question for me? Hello, Kerry, have you frozen?
Yes. How long does, you may have said, but how long does a usual project take?
Okay, so our programs are usually 6 modules. So we usually recommend 6 to 8 weeks to cover them. Give or take, sometimes they run in 2 days, depending on the school, their program, their timetable. So there's a little bit of flexibility. They are 6 modules, and the modules are around about an hour or so each. Sometimes there's a little bit of extra design work, for instance, with the rockets, the fins and the cones and things like that. So that might be an extra lesson. The ambassador usually will come to at least 3 sessions. That's what we require of them, but usually they come to all of them because they get so excited and love it so much. So yeah, hard to keep them away.
Fantastic. And you mentioned that there were kits. Does the school have to provide any materials at all, the bottles or the whatever else?
Yes, we do ask the school to start collecting with 1.5 litre soda bottles that and bits of cardboard or plastic to make the fins. So that's just stuff from home or school, but it's really important that the bottles are carbonated. They're of the plastic, like that have had soda water, or we don't encourage Coke or Fanta, but something, a carbonated liquid, because it's the right density of plastic. unfortunately still water bottles, even though they're very healthy. don't make for a good water rocket.
Right. So roughly, is it 1 rocket per child? So you've got a class of 27, you're going to need 27 bottles, or will you need more for modifications?
So what we normally do is, with the class, we'll suggest that the kids are broken into groups of 3 or 4. So, and they have 1 bottle each, and they work as a team. Part of this program is about those soft skills as well, that teamwork. So in each group, they sort of elect a scientist, an engineer, and a health and safety person, and they all have their wee roles. So they learn about that. That's all embedded into the modules. So they will work. So you'd basically need just a bottle for each small group, and that's their prototype. They make a prototype, and then they work out what works and what doesn't work. We've seen rockets fly off with pom-poms on them, all sorts of things, and they get, as the program goes on, they refine them. They work out what's going to be most effective. Yeah.
It's amazing. So what actually propels, that's my mind, how does it work? So what is it, compressed air?
Yeah, so a bike pump's the other thing they will need as well. So it's water in the rocket, water and air and pressure. Yeah. So there's a little sort of safety gauge, and they pump it up to 60 psi and then push the little trigger and off it goes. Amazing. Very exciting.
Amazing. Well, it certainly sounds like you've changed a lot of students' lives.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It really does sound like it has. And when you mentioned about ambassadors and the 360, that really resonates with me. I was talking to a principal today and saying, my nephew's an engineer, and the reason he chose engineering was because of an engineer who came to his school when he was 7 or 8 and showed him how exciting it can be and how creative it is and dynamic it is and ever-changing. And he loves it as a career. So what you're doing is opening doors for students to be able to see the potential of engineering. So we're really excited and really lucky that you've given us the presentation today to see the potential of what the Wonder Project can do.
Oh, that's great. Thanks, Kerry. No, it is fabulous, and that's a lovely story. And it is quite magical, the whole thing.
Excellent. So pretty much if people want to get into the Wonder Project, they jump on wonderproject.nz. Yes. And then they're able to book, register. And how far ahead should they, because they'll probably be starting to think about next year. So how far ahead?
So just if people want to register now, that's fine. Just jump online and register. We are opening up we're going to be doing a push in November for teachers to sign up for term 1. But if people are interested, they can sign on now, and then they'll get a prompt to re-engage in November for term 1. So it's good to always jump in we are aware that teachers do like to plan, which is why we thought November's a good time to get them in. We're very excited to be running it over 2 terms. The weather's much better and more consistent in the first term as well for the outdoor launches, even though they launch in all sorts of weather.
Good. One of the questions is, does the teacher need to have experience at teaching STEM?
Not at all. What we do is with our teachers, we have a teacher training video that every single teacher who signs up must go through, and it gives a really good overview of the program and sort of STEM just in a sort of big picture sort of way. But as I said before, the Learning Hub is just so well done. It has so much information that if you go through step by step and just project up the modules, work through them step by step, all the information is there and supported by a teacher support set of notes, which are, as I said before, like an encyclopedia. If there's a concept that you have a problem with, you just go and look it up, and it's explained and, you know, really simply. So, you know, we've sort of tried to cover, you know, for a teacher who's really had no experience at all, you can do this program. You'd have to obviously put the work in and look through it and do it carefully. But yeah.
Oh, fantastic. And there's another attendee who has just said how much they've really enjoyed the presentation and that they've loved the video of the rocket launch with the students. I must admit, I was chuckling at that too. It's so incredible, and the excitement in the kids' faces at getting success, but also the resilience of learning that things don't always work and try again and add more sand and modify and adapt, and all those soft skills that you refer to are so important. So it's great to hear that the video is resonating with our teachers.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, that's absolutely what like this whole area is about. STEM is about learning by mistakes as well, which is what they do. And the kids, you know, get those wonderful, as you say, soft skills at the same time. And realize it's okay, and actually failures aren't failures, they're just more learning. So there's so much goodness in the program. It's great. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, I think we'll leave it there unless we get any more questions.
If there are any more questions, just feel free to email me through the Wonder Project. There's a Wonder Project address on the website, and that will just go to our schools team, and we can answer anything if anyone's got any questions. So
fantastic. Yeah. Thank you so much, Alison. We really appreciate you giving up your time to help teachers understand the Wonder Project and understand this aspect of the Wonder Project, because I know you've got many things that you do. But it's great to actually hear about it, hear more about it, have the opportunity to ask questions and have them answered. Yeah, thank you so much. And we'll be loading this webinar and putting it on our YouTube channel and where people can share it with their staff. And we've also got another one in a month's time. So thanks very much, Alison, and all the best, everyone. And I'll see you all in a month.